Hi, this is Scott Dudley from FFR042, and today I'm going to do the beginning of a little bit of a mini series that I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks in preparation for an interview that I've got booked with Brian Kurtz, one of the all-time legends of direct marketing, and he was actually a personal friend of Eugene Schwartz back in the day when he was still alive. And I actually bought Eugene Schwartz's book, Breakthrough Advertising, from Brian Kurtz a couple of years back. So what I'm going to do over the next few weeks is just summarize some of the chapters in this book before we speak with him. And today we're going to be taking a look at how to capitalize on your prospect's state of awareness. So this is chapter number 2 of Breakthrough Advertising. And it's something that's often forgotten about when putting together an advertising promotion. And Eugene Schwartz calls it the prospect's state of awareness for the product that you're trying to sell. So the average prospect state of awareness about your products determines how you should approach the ad, so it piques their interest, and it also gets them to either read or watch your sales message, depending on whether it's a text sales letter or if it's a video, or in some cases it could be both on the same page. And according to Schwartz, the first 2 things that you need to become clear of before writing your sales letter are: 1, the mass desire that makes up your market, example, to lose weight, and 2, the one performance in your product that satisfies the desire most deeply. So an example of that would be a liquid meal in a glass. All right, so both of these things combine to form the core concept or the theme of your ad. And the thing that you need to get clear on is how aware your prospect is about the solution that you're providing to them, such as 1, how often are they thinking about the desire for the product? 2, are they aware that only a problem or need exists but not a solution? And 3, and if they are aware of a solution, do they already know that you provide the solution, and including also, do they know the name of the product? So with that in mind, here are the 5 levels of awareness of your market for your product that are covered in Eugene Schwartz's book. And it starts off from the most basic levels that is easy to sell a product or service, right down to, at the end of the scale, the most difficult. So starting off with the easiest one, that is the most aware type of prospect. And this is when the customer knows of your product, they know what it does, and they also know that they want it. So it's basically, it's a no-brainer to sell it. And the perfect example of this would be Coca-Cola. Everybody's heard of Coca-Cola, and pretty much everybody's tasted Coca-Cola before. So they know it for years and years and years. They've experienced it. And really all you need to do in this particular case is state the name of the product and the price. And as long as somebody is, got a thirst or a desire for a can of Coke, then it's pretty simple and straightforward to sell to them. Now, I haven't, other than the odd exception, I haven't drunk any Coke or Pepsi for about a decade. I used to be a fan of it, but I've gone right off it, particularly after I realised how much sugar was in it and how bad it is for you. So it doesn't really matter what type of advertisement they put up. I'm not going to be interested. But those people that do love Coke, I mean, you just put an ad up and it immediately reminds them, go and have a can or buy a bottle or whatever. So that's the easiest situation to sell a product. Then the next one is where the customer knows of your product but doesn't yet want it. So an example of this might be whitening toothpaste. So pretty much everybody has heard of toothpaste that supposedly whitens your teeth. But, in my particular case, I don't believe that it would work. So for this type of product, you need to display the name of the product. So it might be Colgate. And you need to make it clear why it's superior and how it actually works. And then in that particular case, then you're in with a chance of selling the product. Then the next one is the prospect either knows or recognises immediately that he wants what the product does, but he doesn't yet know that there is a product or your product that will do it for him. So a classic example here would be to regrow hair easily. Now, I gave up on regrowing my hair a good 15, 20 years ago. And, you know, I've seen lots of ads on TV that talk about, you know, regrowing hair and different techniques that you can use and so on and so forth. But none of them really interest me because one, they cost a fortune, and two, I don't believe that they work. And three, some of them are just ridiculous, such as, you know, slapping on a basically a toupee or a wig and walking around with a wig on just to make it look like you've got hair. So really, for me to get interested in something like that and to get past my perceptions or biases of that type of product, it would need to basically sell itself as an easy solution, quick and easy solution that works, you know, like something that's a no-brainer to at least give a try. So for example, it might be a shampoo that you just put in your hair when you're having a shower. You keep doing that for 30 days and then you'll start to see the hair grow back. But, you know, unless it's something simple and straightforward, then it's not really going to, it's not going to get my attention, and I'm not going to take any action on it. I'd also probably need to see some examples of it working that I actually believed as well, because I think that most of the examples that they use for that, they're not real. But anyway, that's just my opinion. So then the next level of awareness is where the prospect has not a desire, but a need. So, and he recognizes the need immediately, but he doesn't yet realize the connection between the fulfillment of that need and your product. So an example of this could be a healthy meal delivery for busy professionals. So for this, it's a problem-solving type of ad, and you would start by naming the need or solution and then get the prospect to realize how badly they need it. So, you know, there are a lot of busy professionals out there that either don't like to cook or haven't got time to cook. And in some ways that sort of fits my description. And, you know, they realize that their health is suffering because of it. And, you know, there's lots of fast food and simple delivery options, but pretty much all of them are unhealthy, make you fat, and, you know, they're not good for you, you know, such as a pizza or, I don't know, lasagna or whatever. But if it's a healthy meal delivery, then, you know, that's going to not only solve the problem of hunger, but it's also going to solve the problem of, you know, getting healthy, staying healthy, living longer, not getting sick, and also not having to cook, not having to wash dishes, not having to drive down to the shops. So it sort of solves a whole lot of issues in one. But, you know, in a lot of cases, it's not a desire, it's just more of a need. And unless you actually start by naming the need or solution and then get the prospect to realize how badly they need it, and really make the person think, gee, that's a good idea, I do need that, let's go and order it, then you're going to struggle. Because for a start, you know, the majority of people, they don't like healthy meals anyway. They might like the fact that it keeps you slim and look good, but you know, most people don't like the taste of healthy meals. So you'd also have to sell the fact that not only are these meals healthy, but they also taste good as well. Because the majority of people, they don't buy or they don't eat their food to stay healthy. They eat it because they enjoy eating it. So And then that moves us on to the last point, and this is the most difficult of all to try to sell. And in this particular case, this is where the prospect is either not aware of his desire or his need, or he won't honestly admit to himself without being led into it by your ad, or the need is so general that it resists being summed up in a single headline, or it could even be a secret that just can't be verbalized. So an example of this, and this one's, again, the most difficult to come up with an example. As you get further down the list, it becomes more difficult. But I've come up here with an example of a product that would reduce EMF radiation, so electromagnetic fields. And I've actually worked previously with a company to try to sell this type of product, and it was extremely difficult because the average person is 100 miles away from accepting the product, and it's really difficult to find the best way to bridge the gap. I mean, with that type of product, you can always try to scare people by mentioning the risks of cancer and, you know, the damage that electromagnetic fields can do to your body. But some people don't take well to scare tactics, and, you know, they get angry and upset about it. So that's where you've got to come up with the right angle or position to, or the right way to position the product so that the prospect can understand and relate to the issue, you know, with their health and how it's doing them damage, and that, you know, you really do need this product. Otherwise, you're just going to continually do damage to your body and you're going to get sick. So that's the sort of product where it's very difficult to sell, and you have to come up with a unique angle that the prospect accepts, and at the same time, it makes them realize that, well, okay, you're right, I need this. So yeah, that's a real challenge. So they're the 5 levels of customer awareness, and it's important that whenever you're writing a promotion or a sales letter, whatever you want to call it, that you have a think about the prospect's level of awareness, because the prospect's level of awareness really determines how you're going to approach the ad, particularly the headline and then the lead after the headline, because the only job of the headline is to get the prospect to start reading, and then to get them to continue reading the lead. And then once they start reading the lead, then the job of the lead is to get them to read the rest of the ad, basically. But if the headline or the lead aren't interesting, or if they don't get the attention of the prospect, then they're not going to read any of the ad, are they? So that's why it's extremely important to begin the sales letter with the approach it in the right way, so that you get their attention, you get them reading, and hopefully as they read your ad, they start to realize that, yes, I need this, or yeah, I really want this. And it all starts from the prospect's level of awareness, which a lot of people, they don't even take that into account when they're writing sales letters. So, and you know, that can make a huge difference on conversions. And probably the other thing too that it's important to mention with this book with Eugene Schwartz is it was written, I think, in the 1960s. So, you know, back in those days, wasn't as politically correct as it is now. And he always mentions about him or he in his examples. So that sort of makes it a little bit difficult. But yeah, that's his writing in the book. That's not me. So anyway, that's all I've got today for Funnel Fella Radio. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now.